All right. So you've been seeing a lot of mixed videos in the past. Some of the, for example, yesterday I dropped a few videos. And so just to remind my purpose in making these videos. So I'm a target individual. I've been a target individual since I worked for an employer. Uh, he put me in this program, and I'm thinking about 2014, 2015. And ever since then, things have been different around me. But on August 19, 2019, things drastically changed to the point where that's when I started experiencing V2K and synthetic telepathy. This is this technology that completely manipulates your thoughts, and does so many things to you, controls you in many ways, but really in these disturbing ways to try to break you down. It's so disgusting. It's so pedophilia centric. It's so disturbing. That's the things they do, and they've done a lot of things to make me accept this manipulation. Now, ever since then, in 2020, that's when I started making videos, and that's when I started kind of talking about what's happening to me. That's when I learned a lot about what's happening to me. It's not just happening to me. It's actually very systematic. It's 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 incredible to see how systematic things are. Everything I experience has been experienced by others. And you are then starting to they force you to think in this so illogical way. Uh, some people have called it mental retardation, because the way they put things together, it basically push somebody to damn near insanity. There's a lot of mental torture utilizing pedophilia type of torment, but with the people I'm here, the people who are targeting me, they're trying to make me subscribe to these pedophilia things. It's disgusting. I've talked about it a lot. And the testimonies for me are not only a way to express what's happening to me, but also I understand that there'll be a time where I won't be able to say these things. And so it's a way to record what I need to say before I can say it. And it's a way to also, it's almost therapeutical in a sense that me speaking out loud what's happening shows the obvious manipulation of these people and how they want you to subscribe to these things. This is why I make these videos. You are surrounded by people who are trying to get you to accept this false narrative. Now, let me just say that before going forward with this testimony. This technology has extreme sophistication. I mean, not too long ago, early this week I received an email in regard of like hard treatment or something, something that was related to somebody who then ended up. Then today I opened the news and they talk about somebody dying from hard treatment. Now, target individual will understand that this program has the ability to control your whole ecosystem, and the predictability of this program is amazing. It's interesting the sophistication is unbelievable. It's almost godlike thing, but there's nothing godly. It's not magical. It's technology at a level that's almost hard to for me, for my brain power, not able to comprehend that level of technology. But is technology that has the ability to know what you're gonna experience, know what you're gonna see, what you in your ecosystem. This program has been ongoing for a while. I've heard like testimonials of people who would read a book about something in, let's just say, in a country. Next thing they know, this place in that country that they were reading about closes or something like that, and they would think, oh my gosh, the whole world is after me. And the thing is, that's not how I think it works. I think they are aware that certain things will happen. They make you understand that this is going to happen, and then you see that happen and you think, oh my gosh, this is all about me. It's not, right? And I understand the sophistication of this technology, but the people involved are not the most sophisticated. They are very much normal. They're very much just the trash people that just are. And when I mean trash, I'm not saying financially, or I'm talking within the corporate world, within the people, all kind of people But they're trash because they want you to accept this narrative, this storyline. And they want you to find that credible. Yes, this technology is sophisticated. To all my target individual, do not let them use the ability of this technology to get credibility towards you. Their sole job is to make you accept this false reality. Yes, this technology has the ability to do a lot, but they also are trying to change you to something else, and I have no problem coming up with a false reality. I've seen people in my face try to tell you who you are. No, that's part of their job. These people know who you are and are trying to change you and are making up reality that are falsified with no problem. And then they sometimes use, you see, the technology will let you know that this is part of the program. You are supposed to make me accept this nastiness, and you're trying to use this sophistication of weaponry, this sophistication of this program to make me accept this. I hope that makes sense. They try to get you to accept this false persona. You know yourself, right? You know who you are. But they try to say, you see, because we're able to do this and that, you should believe the story that we're making up. That's what they do. And to all my target, don't fall for that. Know that this technology is as sophisticated and unbelievable. You're in a program that everything around you is damn near predicted, controlled, manipulated. This is because you're a subject in this program. And part of it is to try to change you into something else. Now, with me, other things they've been doing is, because I've been making videos, they think that I'm making videos to try to explain myself. It's not that. I use that because I need to express what I need to say, and I need to say in a way that's organized. And because they say that they're going to frame me, the people, they're going to harm me, and do this and that, they're going to believe this. Like, listen, first of all, wherever I'm going to go, people are on the same page. They know what they need to do. They know probably better the manipulation that I will ever know. They know the falsification even better than I will ever know. You see the people involved, you're like, if you are involved, you tell me that somebody who's yes. Because for me, they have used these people who are trying to create this facade of all sorts. In the last video, you see this person. You see two faces. You see a face that's blurred out in green, and you see another one of like this Asian young woman. That person in the green was saying that, this is our research. Like, this is a group of like this feminist group of women who reside here to protect the community, and they're looking at you because you are the pedophile. You're the pedophile, and we're trying to stop it. Now, it's pathetic to even think that I'll ever subscribe to this, but this is how they try to really paint themselves as. Now, obviously, by now I've had so much validations, and I know what they do. And I know pedophilia is something that has been ongoing, not only in their agencies that are truly in charge of this DOD, DARPA. Like, this is where that is the type of entities in charge of this. And there's field of pedophiles there. With me, what they've done is try to come up with narrations of that sort. So I'm also validated that they do the pedophilia type of torture. I can over and over bring the same testimonies of women and men saying that they do this pedophilia type of torture. I've been validated that that's what they do. Like, literally somebody have said, they aim this program perversion towards children. With me, they try to create things and manipulate things and stimulate me and try to make me think of things and change it into creating this falsified reality. It's nonstop. And now they've been using the torture that I will experience. They say that they're going to frame me. Then when I'm going to be framed, I'm going to be in jail. And when I'm in jail, and I'm sorry for the graphic, I'm going to be raped. And because I'm going to get raped, I should be acceptive of this. They use those torture to say that this is to stop me from putting things back in the right perspective. But you have to be strong. Yesterday, they did another thing. You see those two pictures. It's not yesterday, but it's been, they try to do that so many times before. As I can see, they start doing things to my brain to make it hard for me to speak. Almost felt like I couldn't say something. But they try to interrupt me because they want me to subscribe to this. Yesterday, this person, a coworker of mine, in the green, blurred, the blur that you see in the last video, you see two pictures. One of like Asian young woman, and you see this blur picture of who is a colleague. And you hear the noise campaign, right? The reason why they're doing this is because they want to interrupt me from saying what I need to say. So yesterday, this colleague of mine, this coworker of mine, was trying to make me subscribe to this narration they've created. When I went to Canada the first time, it was like around 2014 or so, and that's why you hear the noise campaign. When in 2014 or so, I went to Canada. I was there for a week for work, and on my last day, I ended up being intimate with a young Asian woman. And mind you, at the time, I'm 26 years old, and I'm giving her maybe 23, 22 years old, right? They're trying to make me imagine her to be underage. And so because I never, I know, I have no doubts that she's a young adult, just like I was a young adult. But they can make me imagine whatever they want, because it's not like I was like, hey, let me see, I know she was an adult. She knew I was an adult, and that's that. But because there's no way for me to be like, hey, call it, just to prove them wrong. Like, hey, just, when were you born? So I can prove them wrong. I can't do that. They can come up with whatever reality they want. And they make me imagine her to be an underage person when she's an adult. And they're doing noise campaign, and you heard this noise campaign, and try to make me accept their version of this reality they put together. This is all they do. And you hear somebody in the balcony, right, say, oh, we have ways to find that out. Yeah. The reason why they bring that up is because there's no way I can ever figure out who this person, like, I will never be able to prove them wrong in the sense that I can never call, like, no, you see, I'll never, because I'll never talk to her. So they can come up with whatever reality they want. They've done that many times to others. So whoever they can try to make me imagine, and because I was intimate with this person, and they want this person, this Canadian, this Asian Canadian, to be underage. They try to make me imagine her to be underage. So this person you see on the in my last videos, where you see those two pictures, you see an Asian person, an Asian woman, and then you see some blur green stuff. This is the face of a person. You should see her face. And she was trying to make me believe, and she would use these tones like, oh, 23, yeah, more like 17. Like this same person was saying, oh, this is our research. They come up with the ways of trying to come up with me to subscribe to these pedophilia things. So now what they do is like, who can we make him believe was an underage person? And they're literally trying, I have no doubt. Honestly, I would say I'm 100% sure. 100% sure. There's no, if I had to estimate her age, I would give her between 22, 23 years old. I'm 26 at the time. But they want me to imagine her to be underage. And you hear people noise campaign, try to do whatever so they can come up with this false reality. These are the same people who are forcing you to think about kids in a sexual way, right? They do the pedophilia type of torture. I've been validated by that. They are renowned for tormenting people using this pedophilia type of torture, forcing people to look at children in a sexual way. I cannot look at anything. A baby, oh my gosh, they do nasty. This little girl's disgusting. Non-stop manipulations. Non-stop forcing me to look at these kids and give me some disgusting stimulation where they say, oh, we match it to you as a child. I've talked about it enough. But you understand, this is the people who are trying to come up with a narration. And then it's like, no, we have the ability to know. Yeah, not only I'm 100% sure that you know she's an adult, but your job is to make me believe she's an underage girl. You're not here to try to find the truth or what. You're trying to manipulate me into accepting this thing. They call it, they are at war, meaning that they can come up with whatever storyline we want. And because we're at war, we have no shame into telling the story that's going to make you appear like something else. They're not at war. They're trash. They are contracted by these government entities to break me down into accepting this manipulation where I'm forced to be stimulated toward children of all ages. And so you have to be strong because you have people all around. You heard the noise campaign. I hope that it was captured. But they want to try to do these things till the end. So I'll make these videos while I can to say those things that's happening to me, to express the manipulations that I'm now subscribing to. Because these people, as the BuzzFeed article has mentioned, and I've said it many times, this BuzzFeed article have exposed them for the pedophiles that they are. And I've made videos about it. You can go and my first video, maybe I can put the link again, but I've done that already. I've talked about it enough. I've showed a snippet of it. I've shown literally saying the CIA has been having patterns of pedophilia. These people coming from that world are trying to make you accept this pedophilia type of torture as if it's you, meaning that the way you're experiencing things, they want you to think, to identify that it's you. You know it's not true. So what they're doing now is, who can we make him believe to be an underage person? Now, I have no doubt. Thankfully, like this person, there's no doubt. They could have, I'm just thinking, they could have been worse, but I have no doubt. But unfortunately, my brain, they make me imagine, oh, maybe she's like those like underage, but she looks older, you know, like, and try to come up with ways to make me think it this way. So no, she was an adult. She's an adult and not much younger than me, maybe 3 years or so. And they try to make me imagine her as underage, just because they can, and just because I can never prove them wrong in the sense that let me go call her. Let me send her a message. Hey, what year were you born? So, you know, I can never do that. So what's going to happen? We're going to make it up. And mind you, we're talking about early 20s. So that in your brain can be pushed. So what I've been doing is, for example, if you see a picture of this Asian woman, she has nothing to do with me. I don't know this Asian woman, but it brings me back to a perspective, okay, because they can make me imagine people in their 20s be underage. Let me look at a picture of a 20-some-year-old Asian Canadian, because that was what she was. So I'm looking at these Asian Canadians like, okay, if I had something intimate with this person today, they could have made me see this person as an underage. It's like, no, she's underage. We know, we can find it. It's like, of course I know you know. You know she's an adult and you try to make me think she's an underage. This is what they would do. And sometimes the way they validate themselves is like, but you remember, you followed somebody. I followed somebody when I was around on Snapchat. I followed somebody I've talked about. I thought she was an adult. I never talked to her. And she funny, she was not an adult. They're like, oh, you see, that's proof because you follow this person. That means that person is underage. It doesn't even make sense. They have nothing to do with each other. I never even met the other person. But this is how they try to, we matched it. And that's that. And then with your brain, that is so illogical, they can try to really show that this is, you see, that's proof that this person is underage because that person that you follow in that summer, in December of that year, was underage. Even though she looked like an adult. You follow her on Snapchat. I never even talked to her. I never interacted with her. But she looked like she was much older. That means that this person early that year that you were with is underage. What do they have in common? This is how they try to get you to accept these things. They try to make you accept things based on, there is nothing real. It's manipulations and how they can make you have these illogical ways of making you think. It's like, no, we matched, no. These are people who work for pedophiles, by the way. So you understand that they create this nonsensicalness of logic and try to get you to accept. Now, let me say this. This woman I was with intimately in Canada for one night was an adult, a young adult, about 3 years younger than me. You want me to imagine her to be underage, so you can imagine me being with this Canadian American to be underage when she's actually an adult. Now, to try to find ways to make me subscribe to it, you'll talk about me following somebody in the December of that year. And I'm saying that this is how my brain, I need to say that out loud. You want me to think because in December of that year, I followed somebody on Snapchat I never met, I never talked to, thinking she was an adult on social media. That means that the woman I was intimate with is underage. This is how they do these things. They have no, there is, it comes, and they call it being at war. Because that shows how illogical you have to be. Now, mind you, this technology is extremely sophisticated, but the people they contract have to be really, really dumb themselves down. Because they want me to be a pedophile. And so they're trying to find ways to manipulate things, to create reality, narrations that are falsified. And so this adult young woman, when I was an adult young man that I was intimate with in Canada, they're trying to make her be an underage person. That is how they manipulate you into accepting these things. And they'll really try to force me to imagine in different ways. It's crazy. And then it's like, no, but in December of that year, you follow somebody who looked like they were adults, but weren't an adult. So that proves that the person that you were with in Canada was underage. This is the type of logic they force you to have. And then you have people like you see in that picture, who's trying to get you to accept. And they use this condescending, childlike ways to, like, I almost got on camera if I wasn't paying attention. But she looked like she was just mad because while they are having like interaction and try to talk to me, I listened to the videos I've made, showing their faces or blurred faces of them, and listening to all the testimonies of the men, women, and children they've tortured. Because they want to come up with this fantasy of they are this group of people protecting their children. They're not. They torture children. They force people to think in this disturbing pedophilia ways. And so as I was listening to that, she get frustrated. And she said something like, yeah, she's 23, yeah, right, 17. I was like, okay. I don't catch it initially, but if I caught it, I was come on camera. I was like, listen, first of all, I know you can't even say Roy Moore. Second of all, you wish she was underage. And they use this childlike condescending words also, like, you wish, you know she's an adult, you try to make her an underage just because you want me to be a Roy Moore, a name that you can't even say. You guys filled with pedophiles. No, I'm not going to let you live your fantasy. You wish that Canadian young woman was underage so you can live your fantasy. I'm not going to give you that. You actually forced me to have nasty stimulation toward children. I'm not the first one, and I won't be the last one that will say that. So, and now what they're trying to do is they try to make me look at this person as somebody credible. Somebody who, before I've showed videos about this, she's nothing special, really, if you see her. But because they have control of my brain, and they've started creating these things where I'm forced to see people like them in a credible way. The same people who are claiming this is our research, because to counter things, they say other things. They call it being a war. I said before, this is obviously a research and development program where they are developing this technology, and they're using us target individuals as subjects in this research, meaning they do these things to us to improve this and develop this technology, right? She tried to counter, like, no, this is our research. So, like, we are a group of this, like, strong feminists protecting the community, because there's so many testimony of what they do to women, right? And she's like, no, we're different from that. It's our specific one, right? So this same person who is trying to tell me, oh, no, we're different. We have different, it's our own research. We don't torture women and children, right? It's obvious they do. It's trying to tell me a narrative that she wants me to subscribe to. So I'm not going to let them live their fantasy. But beside that, they've done this, tried to make me think of somebody else. In Colombia, let me say, in Colombia, in China, I was in China there for work. I ended up being intimate with a Colombian woman there, because this is a memorable moment in my life. They tried to make me imagine her to be underage. And it was a true, like, back and forth. I was like, what? It was truly like a back and forth for the whole day. And then the next day they go into this person. and do this back and forth again. This is what they do. Whoever they can create a story about, if they have the ability to create a story, they're going to. And me, because it's people have been intimated once and never talked to again, and I will never go back. I can never go back and say, hey, hi, these people are knowing me about this. Can you just confirm this? Can you? So they can come up with a story they want, and they use this, like I said, technology, program, sophisticated beyond, and people they contract childlike individuals, no shame. And so to stop these things, to stop me from putting things in perspective, they're like, oh, we're going to castrate you, right? The reason why they're saying that is because I'm putting things in a perspective way that it makes sense. And they want to go into their fantasy where they want me to look at them like, oh, they're just investigating. These people who are doing this pedophilia type of torture. So they're investigating using the pedophilia type of tormenting. You understand? They're delusional, and they come up with storylines. Storylines that just it's like creating a story, a productive story. They escape reality. As much sophisticated this technology is, they truly have to dumb themselves down. And me making these videos are something they don't like, because they want me to get lost in their fantasies, in their reality. Some perp that I already made a video about how delusional she was is telling me something that I know is falsified, and I'm supposed, my brain is forced because they manipulate to look at her as somebody I should find credibility toward. No, trash, I'm sorry. You wish that was true. I know you know the truth, and I know you're trying to create this false reality as if it's true. And they talk themselves into, oh, you're ready to. It's like, okay, stop the it's the gimmicky thing. I see through that. So to all my target individual, stay strong. I'll make my testimonials, like I said, because I know things are gonna happen where I will not be able to speak about it. And so I'll make my testimonials as a way to say something I need to say, and won't be able to say in the future. And because I've been making this video and kind of humiliating them. These same people who wanted me to see them in this fashion are seeing what they sound like when they do these things. They wanted me to go into their fantasy. I'm not going to let them live their fantasy. A reality they've created is not going to be accepted by me, because I know this is a false reality. Now, am I going to be tortured? I do believe so. I'm with these people who wanted to live this fantasy, or that their research, their program, right? They're different from all the testimonials of women and men and children that have been experiencing the worst things, especially women. But it's like we're different. We're not torturing women, right? Obviously, it's not true. They torture a lot of women, horrible ways, and even children. These people who have humiliated by bringing up testimonials of all these women they've tortured, who have talked about how they try to make me subscribe in these illogical ways, who have brought up the issues with pedophilia in these agencies, from the BuzzFeed article, who speak about how obvious these people try to manipulate me, who have talked about Roy Moore, a pedophile that actually picked up kids. I don't need to make that up. Well, these people are here forcing me to get disturbing stimulation toward children. Day in and day out, they come up with their version of reality. For example, this Canadian Asian woman that they want me to imagine her as underage. And they talk about, somebody you follow on Snapchat. It's like, that's evidence. Well, they came and speak about an actual pedophile. You understand the humiliation? And then they're renowned to do this pedophilia type of torture, and this program aimed towards children. And it's been said by many others. So as much as I'm going to be tortured, I will never give them that fantasy. When they watch me torture, watch me suffocate, they got to understand that this person that they're watching tortured, suffocated, and tormented never subscribed to this false reality, and he saw them for what they are. trash that have been experimenting on men, women, and children, filled with pedophiles in these agencies, using pedophilia type of torment. And as they were trying to create this facade, I knew who put me in this program, and I know why they can say Roy Moore and pedophile that picked up kids. And they use these kids to try to make you accept these things. And they use even kids to force you to be stimulated toward kids and create this false persona, this Roy Moore-like persona with a lot of creation and manipulations. So now they try to find what they can manipulate, change into something else. It's just that stuff. And I continuously sound more right. And of course, one thing they hate, as much as they know what's going to happen around me, they don't know what's going to happen to them. That's something I noticed. There's one person who I was so mad too. He was saying things that are awkward. He was saying things to annoy me. I got really mad. Not too long after, this man killed himself. Now, does he have to do with me? No, he probably has his own issues. But my point is, he probably saw so much of what I'm going to experience. But he couldn't see himself killing himself. My point is the same with these people. And for them, I guess, a way to escape what they're part of. Some of these people might even die before I die. But they know how I'm going to die. They're going to know everything, how I'm going to suffer, They have no idea what's going to happen to them. And this is the magical part. So I know for sure that justice will be done for what they've done to me. I don't, no doubt. One way or another, it's going to come. I don't need, these people are just the bottom feeder, who I do pray and hope that they're not even, they probably barely, if they're watching me, they probably don't even care much about me. They live their life and continue to go on and moved on. Those are the people who put me in this program. Those are like, these people are just living life. These people, they're here not even really enjoying, they enjoy this, but this is, look, what kind of life is this? Yeah, you're not even, you're calling yourself God and everything else, but look how pathetic it is. I'm not subscribing to it. You're going to watch me suffer. You're watching me die. Look at you. Are you living? This is, But these people who put me in this program are living life. They're doing, they don't care. They don't have to dumb themselves down. They leave it to these people. To these people who enjoy this power. They live this, they let these people live this life of God. They don't have to dumb themselves down. They understand what it is. Enjoying life is look, thank God we don't have to dumb myself down like that. Look, they make them look bad. They can't even say Roy Moore. They find a way to say it in different ways. And I'm all the way here in New York. This is the people who I pray that justice, I hope that something happens for what they've done. But this here, look at life. Look at their life right now. They're here coming up, calling it war. You're not a war, just have to come up with stories. This brain is going to be manipulated to the point where you can accept all the stories you can create. Doesn't take much. So to all my target individual, stay strong. Don't subscribe. No, put things in perspective one way or another. I know when I'm done talking, it's going to go back into their illogical ways of putting things together. But don't subscribe. Know who you are. I know this nasty stimulation is what they force me to have. There's nothing they can tell me. It's oh, no, that's you. It's nah, no, you force me. Just like you force others to be stimulated toward children of all ages. It's disgusting. You're forcing me to experience this, and this is because you do these nasty things. And they tell me how they're going to use it. And one thing to wrap up. They use this childlike individual. You hear that from a lot of people. But one thing they're saying that is they're going to say that I did something to one of these child. I don't know if it's true, right? Maybe they're saying that to agitate me. Maybe they're saying that to get me anxious. I don't know. But you hear this child's this is going to be noble, right? I'm going to do it because it's noble. It's so pathetic. That's why I don't have to pray too much about they're going to get this is sad. It's pathetic. It's very pathetic. They might know what I'm going to say. They might, but they still do these pathetic things. They still do these sad things. Well, the people who put me in this program over here, you think they're going to try to have their kids say something like that? Never. They'll never embarrass themselves like that. And then these people are like, oh, they try to find ways, oh, because we're poor. It's like, no, because you don't have no self-respect. Well, the people who are actually responsible here, who can sing about Roy Moore, will never let the kids say something like that. It's humiliating. So to all my target individual, stay strong and know that justice will be done.